That's right. You're welcome, 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 ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Yes, men and women, and you are wherever it is that you're joining us from in the world. You're very welcome. Make sure that you get a seat for yourself and you get whatever it is you like to snack on, a cup of whatever it is that you like to drink at this time of the day. Emphasis at this time of the day. So please be careful. And you're welcome to Film Focus right here on Smooth 98.1, where we not just love music and life, we certainly also love movies, especially at this time of Friday, 11 to 11:50. Every Friday, you catch us talking about movies, series, animation, and everything that can entertain you on your screen for the weekend and beyond. My name is Oluwaseun, and I am blessed, lucky, excited to never do this alone. I've got the huge presence of the man from Edo State in the studio with me, the movie pundit, the critic, the analyst, and the one who knows his onions. Well, he might not be a chef, but he knows his onions in the movie industry. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the one and the only Ori.
Honestly, I clap for myself honestly.
Yeah.
I feel impressed by myself at the moment.
Of course, you've won many awards as journalists. I think I saw one of those awards that you got from Afrima in 2015.
Yeah.
Entertainment Journalist of the Year.
Back when I was young.
What are you now?
Exactly. Back when I was young. Yeah, that's indeed true. Thank you for reminding me, actually. It's one of my proudest days. Or proudest nights, actually. It was that night, actually. Yeah.
Well, thank you. Always a pleasure to have you here. And you have already heard his voice, even though he's operating from the dark, he is perfectioned, actually. And he's 6'4". He is definitely one of the ones who brings joy and delight to this show and never misses out on the lovely recommendations to make your weekend lovely as well. That is the one and only entertainment stakeholder that we have right here on Smooth 98.1. Host of many shows that deals with movie entertainment and sport. But right now he's here in the capacity of a movie analyst. That is also the man from Edo State.
Once again.
Yes, and the boy,
the person who Irabor Okosum.
Good morning, everyone. Yeah.
Can I give you a round of applause too?
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. You know, the magic word is 6 foot. 6 foot. That's all. 6 foot. I mean, Oris knows what I'm saying. 6 foot. Yeah. What's your name? 6 foot. What do you want? 6 foot. It just, it opens doors. 6 foot. Finish.
Do you know people lose height when they age?
No, not lie.
No, for real. It is scientifically proven.
No. Yeah, you're right. The intervertebral disc actually gets, so yeah, you lose a few inches.
But if they straighten me back up, okay?
If what?
If they straighten me back up when I'm
it's not possible, but who knows? Who knows?
You can add height.
Yes, exactly.
From 3 inches to 6 inches.
Yes.
You can actually.
Apparently, it's possible these days.
It just it involves some breaking of the bone.
But hey, luckily, Irabor and I will never have that problem. So
you would have that problem. We can sacrifice 2 inches, 3 inches.
Exactly.
Still good. 6 foot.
No, it's never about height here. It's about movies, series, animations, like we mentioned. And you're welcome to join the conversation because it is film focused. My name is Oluwaseun. I don't know if I said that earlier, but in case I did not, that is the name. And you can send your name as well as your movies that made your childhood to our WhatsApp page as well as our Instagram page. We've been taking the comments or seeing the comments. Don't let them stop because tomorrow is Children's Day and everybody is a child of somebody, right?
Indeed.
So
yes, we didn't poof out of nowhere.
Exactly. Nobody dropped from heaven. So if you want to share with us the memories of your childhood and maybe get yourself in that nostalgic spot, it is okay for you to go right ahead to check out WhatsApp status, or you can check our Instagram page at Smooth981 FM. No, at Smooth981 on Instagram. No FM there. At Smooth981. And get into the comment section and share with us some of those movies that are not necessarily restricted to the flyer there. You can share with us your long list of movies that made your childhood memorable. Yeah, I should ask you. Tell me about your childhood. No, don't worry. Don't tell me every aspect. Just tell me about the movies that made your childhood. That sounded weird.
In childhood, I mean, unfortunately, a lot of my choices were handed to me by my uncles and by my parents. I say unfortunately because I think they have terrible taste, by the way. So that means but it's true, to be honest.
What did you watch while you were growing up?
My dad was a big fan of all of these action movies. So stuff like the Van Damme movies, Bloodsport, which was that one anyway.
Wick had a good taste.
Anyway, yes. Anyway, Bloodsport. What's the other one? The one with Dennis
Rambo.
Rodman. Oh, exactly. Thank you very much. Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Commando, the Rambo movies, all of those guys. Steven Seagal, my father loved Steven Seagal. A particular film called Hard to Kill. He really liked that one.
Oh, yes.
Hats off to that man.
Anyway, yes. So, but me personally, as I grew up, I realized that, what, this isn't really the kind of stuff I want to watch. And then luckily, a few years after, I started living with my mother this time, and she had younger brothers who were cool, And so then I saw films like The Godfather.
Okay.
And then I realized, this is the kind of movies I want to spend my adulthood watching. So that's kind of how I switched from the action movie loving human being to the more drama driven Oscar winning stuff. Yeah.
Easy
there you go.
Now. Well, if you're on YouTube, you'll see me rolling my eyes. And if you're not, you can go to youtube.com/smooth91 FM Lagos, where we are streaming live. That is the channel. Subscribe while you're there and click on the notification bell. Before I ask Irabor what his childhood felt like and if he had some unfortunate movies that he was forced to see, we'll go on this break. And when we come back, we'll be taking that. Now, you can keep your own comments to 0809-444-0981. This is Film Focus on Smooth 98.1.
But think about it now. All of those nonsense action movies
are lovely.
Well, I don't know. I guess maybe for a kid, she have a certain bent. Immediately I just started having sense. I just say, you know what? I ain't doing no more. Honestly, seriously. These people wanted to ruin my life. Imagine that I was an adult whose only diet of movies was like Van Damme and Steven Seagal, man. What kind of a person would I be?
You will be.
No, but at the end of the day, because you even love movies, because of Godfather, for example, that you saw and you eventually just say, okay, this is my palette. But eventually, you'd still have seen different types growing up. You'd have seen.
Yeah. It's true, but here's the thing. I think that many people get stuck on those kinds of films they saw as kids, and they never get more developed taste. That's what I think.
That's true.
You go from that one, then you now go to like early Nollywood.
That's why you have
just like between those two things. I'm like, guys, what kind of taste do you have, man?
Yeah.
That's how people will start voting. What's it called? But Shaggy as best comedy. There's a time.
That sounds like war. Well, not exactly, because if you were behind the scene, you would have seen my face and the reaction I had to something Irabor just said.
So Oris said
Irabor.
I always do that thing where I
one Edo man for another Edo man, apparently.
Oh, maybe because I've got so used to Irabor before bringing Oris on board, but hey, I will adjust, and I'm sorry.
Amen to that. Amen to that.
Okay, so this is the YouTube channel where you get to catch all the behind the scenes gist. /smooth91 FM Lagos. Again, youtube.com/smooth91 FM Lagos. There is a question on ground, and well, that's Nigerian English. And we're asking you the movies that made your childhood memorable, because tomorrow is Children's Day. Thank you. And I will start to take the comments on Instagram because time really does not wait for anyone. So we put a flyer up on our Instagram page, and it has a number of movies, about 12 of them. I'll reel them out, and people have been responding to them. There was Baby's Day Out. There was Sister Irabor coming for you. I mean, in terms of the movies I made your childhood. There was Matilda. There was Sharon Stone, Genevieve. There was Sophia in London. There was Blood Sister. That's Genevieve. And there was World Apart, Kenneth Okonkwo, Inia. Don't you remember?
I don't remember that one. I don't.
There was Isakaba.
That's Sam Diddy.
Yeah. There was King Kong. There was Sound of Music, which happens to be one of the popular ones, which was why we played the soundtrack for Remy. And then there was Karishika. That actually belongs to movies that traumatized childhood.
Indeed.
And of course, we could forget Home Alone. So now in response to that, we have a number of comments. So I will start with the one from Ayokomi_K, who said, Matilda, Baby's Day Out, Sound of Music. In fact, I need to go watch Sound of Music and Baby's Day Out again. I think I watched Baby's Day Out about 5 times. I did.
That's as a kid.
No.
Okay.
Don't judge me.
All right.
Then there was Sixth Sister Act by Hope Ayeni. Keva_23 said Sound of Music, Home Alone, and Matilda. I can still see the chocolate cake scene in Matilda. I can too. Then Pete_Go says Home Alone, Baby's Day Out, or Sophia in London. Saji Piano said Water World, one of my absolute best.
Water World. Wow.
Yeah.
That's the Kevin Costner film, I believe. My goodness. Who mentions that? That's so interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
We have interesting things. Then Holla's World says Home Alone. Afolabi_ says Isakaba. The Jalila says Home Alone, King Kong, and Baby's Day Out. Evita said The Sound of Music.
Oh, Evita. Oh, okay, no, okay, sorry. I thought somebody said Evita. I'm like, wow, that's impressive too, but nobody said that.
That is someone's handle.
Yeah, it's a Madonna movie actually from back in the day. Then
Home Alone came from Weeder_style_. And yes, that's what we have on Instagram. You can still keep your thoughts coming. 0809-444-0981 is WhatsApp. And Instagram is @smooth981. Now over to you, Irabor. Tell us those movies that make you travel back in time to your childhood.
I mean, my own was a mix because my childhood, we had uncles, aunties, family members just trooping in and out. So everybody had different palettes. So I watched everything from Thumbelina to Lion King to Police Academy to Flubber to Forrest Gump, to Double Impact, Van Damme, to Beverly
that's
Hills
what I was looking for, Double Impact, yes.
To Mighty Ducks, to Do the Right Thing, to Selena.
So Do the Right Thing as a kid?
Oh, yes.
That's cool. You had really cool uncles in that case.
Like people just, like I had uncles upon uncles upon uncles. So it was so bad that whenever they bought Christmas clothes for it was the same. We had to repeat Christmas clothes because the money had to go to other people. So everybody just, but funny enough, at the end of the day, it helped my development because you just had a taste of everything just to see, where you fall. And it was interesting. I mean, watching Casino, The Godfather, I remember watching The Godfather, then Indian movies too, Pretty Woman. It was a lot. Even Basic Instinct, Die Hard.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah,
So I remember that I saw Basic Instinct as kids. So.
Basic Instinct, yeah. So it was a lot. Scarface, Color Purple. It was a lot. I mean,
so in other words, you saw it with your family then,
no,
or
of course,
you would sneak into.
How did you see? That's a good question. How did you see Basic
Instinct? Yeah.
Oh, so I had this uncle, shout out to Uncle Samu. So the guy was very like the way he trained
lives.
No, so the way he trained me was like, okay, this is the world, though. So this is bad, this is good, this is it. Be aware, make the right choices, and it was there to guide me. Yeah. What did you say?
So he would expose you to it to tell you to make the right choice.
Please don't mind Sean, but I totally understand. I had uncles like that too, actually.
Yeah, so he would show me that so that I don't go outside and see the bad things and now not have guidance around it. And now make bad decisions.
Does this mean you had a crush on Sharon Stone quite early?
Oh yes, when I had a crush on Sharon Stone when I watched The Specialist with Sylvester Stallone.
Stallone, yes. And that accounts for the reason why Irabor has countless crushes. Yeah.
No, that was
is that true? I didn't even know this.
It's just because I'm a guy. That's all. Finish.
Yeah, he has over 100.
What is that song? I'm not a player. I just crush a lot.
Yeah, no. In fact, not them. The rush me. Sorry, I don't even push anybody.
Anyway, let's take the messages on WhatsApp now. Here is Governor Derry Smith saying, Isakaba, Isakaba, living in bondage. Mama Sunday, Karishika, Most Wanted, State of Emergency, Rattlesnake, Diamond Ring.
This is the Nollywood Junior. So.
You knew what I was about to say next. That is interesting. Then Josh from Ikeja says,
Splash, yes, Tom Hanks.
Featuring Tom Hanks. And then Wilson, thank you very much for your comment as always. He says, some of the movies that made my childhood memorable are amongst those displayed. There is Isakaba, Sharon Stone, or Sophia in London. Home Alone. Also, at the time, I love the cartoon episode from Voltron.
Voltron.
Simba, The Lion King, Aladdin. Oh, yes. Spider-Man, Superman, and Snow White, as well as the series Sledgehammer.
Of course.
The main actor always says, trust me, I know what I'm doing.
That's a Lucas person.
Yeah. Robin Hood. Not forgetting Hulk Hogan. Really? That's his WrestleMania now. There are many of them.
Just TV.
I love those days. I'll never forget them. Thanks for bringing back good old memories. Indeed, childhood is fun. I don't know what children these days are watching though. I feel like
should I answer?
Peppa Pig.
Should I answer?
Owlets, gecko, or what's that? What are those people?
It's dangerous. So what children are watching these days?
What is dangerous? Give us one.
All the Rainbow Coalition things.
Oh,
Oh, no.
okay, here you go. Enough. Thank you.
Well, Taria Kuti says Home Alone will rank #1 on this list, even though I watched all the movies and enjoyed them. That is Tamara from Ikeja. Sorry. Then
Rocky.
Yeah.
Temilade from Unipan says, I have quite a lot of movies that made my childhood, but then all the Barbie cartoons made my childhood. In particular, Barbie in a Diamond Castle is my baby. I know that one. Barbie made me fantasize about a lot, and now I'm a dreamer on the path to achieving them without boundaries like Barbie always.
Good.
Funny how I grew up to eventually hate pink.
Well, Temilade should be happy, right? There is
Because
the Barbie movie.
remake,
Exactly,
yeah.
it's coming up. So let's see how that goes.
Okay, actually, I'll save that comment. Well, there is a cruise. You forgot to add and always ever troublesome. That probably is for Irabor or Oris. Both of them actually are always ever troublesome.
Above the law.
Wow.
See, I knew it. That goes for Oris and Irabor. It says, what if I'm Kyle XY? What does that even mean?
It was a series.
No, I know
sometime
Kyle
ago.
XY, yeah. But I'm not sure the context.
Oh, okay.
That's about everyone being someone's child. Oh, no.
Okay, fair. The
Fair
guy
enough.
without he had
Yeah.
he didn't have a
Naval,
legal right.
yeah, because there was no
Remember,
way since it was just from inside the whatever.
I just remembered one. No retreat, no surrender.
Yes, Cynthia Rothrock.
Yeah.
Fighting Madam back in the day.
Yeah.
Then Chris says about movies, Voltron and Thunder South for
Thunder South
cartoon and Child's Play and Problem
Child's Play,
movies.
my goodness. Meanwhile, Child's Play will never end, right? I think there's a series running currently. It
Really?
has like part 1 to 5 or something. Now there's a series. Yeah, it's just crazy, man. That shit will never end.
Saint Fajo had quite interesting movie childhood because Home Alone and Chucky, Karashika, and Neka the Pretty Serpent.
Yeah.
Must have been
Scary stuff, man.
traumatizing.
Scary stuff.
Chucky. No. I have not seen Chucky till date.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Not even one. There's like 10
None.
movies.
None.
Wow.
Yeah, I stay away from that. I mean, so the interesting thing, I used to love horror movies at some point and vampire movies, but I just deliberately didn't watch that.
Ojuju cut you, Abi.
Russia, that's another one. Then,
yeah, 98, I think.
then Arnold, I Will Be Back.
All of
Children
the
of-
movies, all of the I'll be back. Terminator.
Children of today watch PJ and others. Yeah, that's PJ Masks. My nephews make me watch that thing, and they're always dramatized.
There's the one on YouTube. That song everybody keeps singing. What's the name of that song?
Baby Shark.
Baby Shark.
Oh, Baby Shark is gone now. You have other ones that just take over. In fact, everything I know about cartoons these days is against my will. Then he said Hammer House of
Horror. Yes, this is way back.
That used to be a series back then. I love.
Saint Fajo, how old are you? Please tell us your age. Tell us your real age, not your football age.
Oh, interesting. So many comments. Thank you so much for your comments. There is Cruz who again says Child's Play is better than Saw. Never saw Saw. Nice. Okay. St. Fajo says I'm over 40, but a vampire.
I see.
What of Allo, Sledgehammer?
Those series, the TV series, right?
Yeah.
Super Force. Yeah, that's true. I used to like that one actually.
Okay, adults, come back now to your present.
Okay, yes. We are back from the 80s and 90s.
Then we can actually go on and on about our childhood and how we watch those things. In fact, if you want to talk about Nigerian series as well, and those soap operas and those family television series.
Yes, there are lots Behind the Clouds. This is really old, by the way. Supple Blues. My goodness.
So many.
After this storm.
Moonlight.
Checkmate. Anyway,
By Moonlight. I love that. Tom and Jerry, even Flintstones.
Yeah, the Flintstones.
Of course,
Jetsons.
we should say a special shout out to Mr. Bean.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, there was Mr. Bean.
Some others who have them, the Frank Spencer series.
Akin says, Voltron, there was Shawari there.
Cruz, that's another old man there. Cruz is an old man.
Okay, back to present day live, 26th of May, 2023, ladies and gentlemen. a number of things we need to talk about. First is what have you been watching, gentlemen? Starting with you, Oris.
Well, like I said I say every week since for a long time now. I'm following the.
Oh, please give us something new.
No. I'll give something new, but let me just say I've seen that one. I saw the one for last week. There's going to be another one this week, and this is the finale, by the way. So anybody Succession, catch it, please. Anyway, and I went back, of course, to see something else called The Leftovers, which is about something like the rapture.
That was like a leftover indeed.
Indeed, you know what was about
exactly something like the rapture has happened, and then what happens to everybody who is left behind. Which I think, by the way, if that was a series based in Lagos, it would be super, super interesting. What happens to people who are left behind after rapture in Lagos? It should be chaos. Anyway, yeah. So it's I've been saying Leftovers. What else? Yes, and I will be saying, sadly, Fast and Furious 10 this weekend.
What do you mean, sadly? So far, the comments.
I told you I'm not a big fan of this action stuff, but I feel like I have to say it.
It's an open mind.
No, I have a choice? I paid my money, right? I have to enjoy what I'm there for anyway. I'm just saying that I'm not. The marketing has finally gotten to me. Otherwise, I wouldn't have seen it. But yes, I'll be seeing that. I don't think I've seen any movie in a bit actually. So maybe this is actually like my return back to the movies.
Congratulations on making a return to the cinemas and the movie scene. Well, when we make a return from this break, we will be taking that of Irabor on what he has been watching. You're listening to Film Focus right here on Smooth 98.1.
So many comments.
What?
I said so many comments on like what people have been saying when they were young.
So many are still pouring in.
Oris, what did Brother Shaggy do to you now?
He didn't do anything to me, but I feel like these guys will not be getting these awards if they were not super famous online. And because a lot of the focus of on voting is on websites, it means that if you are online anyway, you are going to succeed. Because there's no, I don't think Brother Shaggy should be winning. I haven't even seen the stuff you're nominated for, to be honest. I can't remember the name of the project, to be honest.
You get last year.
Yeah. Of course, I'm sure it came out last year. I just feel like this.
We are back.
We are back? Oh.
Yeah. Listening to Film Focus right here on Smooth 98.1 because we're running out of time. Everything has to be short so that we can take all that we plan on taking right here on Film Focus that runs every Friday from 11 till 11:50. And you're welcome to be part of the panel of Georgie's. We are the accurate timekeeper.
Wow.
Join the
Reminds me of Speak Out. Remember Speak Out? Remember Speak Out?
Speak out.
Exactly.
And keep Mission 101.
Exactly. That was where they really started from before.
Yeah.
People who do not know.
All right, let's go back.
Okay.
So now, before the break, we are going to take what Irabor had been watching.
Oh, I saw this movie, The Covenant. If you haven't seen it, it's a Guy Ritchie film.
Okay.
Oh, it's new actually, right?
Yeah, it's new. Guy Ritchie,
okay.
Jake Gyllenhaal. My goodness, it's a film about sacrifice, loyalty, and fulfilling your promise. It will get you. I teared up a little bit.
Is it action?
Hold on.
Yeah, it's action.
You what?
I teared up a little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
Anyway, where is it? Because it's not in
Amazon.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Then I saw this movie, A Man Called Otto. To me, that's
Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks. It's really good. I hear. I don't know. Is it?
That's no. Oris, watch him. Makes sense.
Okay.
Die.
Yeah. I've heard it.
Like really makes sense. Die. These two films I'm giving you, mad. Like no wahala at all. Then I'm waiting for. Well, it has come out today. I haven't watched it. I will try and watch it maybe after the show. Ted Lasso, the latest episode. The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, latest episode. Power Book 2 Ghost, latest episode. I'm trying to go watch The Mother. I started when they were in the hospital.
Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah. So I don't know. Anybody can give me a review. I don't know. I'm just
You can just find it online. Believe me, it's terrible. But
I've watched 2 scenes there.
Only 2
you guys
scenes.
are watching it like series.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That is not a good commentary on.
That's why you know a movie is bad. Yeah.
No, it's not. You can't just say that's when you know a movie is bad. It's bad. You remember that different things appeal to different people, right? There are people who
Irabor said bad. I shall stick with bad. Thank you. I like bad. That is how we can describe.
I did not know that Seun is running for office.
ignore these critics and these naysayers,
Oh, wow.
pessimists in the building,
Oof.
and send us your review on WhatsApp if you have seen The Mother. 0809
And try to
441
respond as though you're not a big fan of Jennifer Lopez, and try your best to speak objectively if
Not
you can.
try your best, speak objectively.
It's not easy for people to, be objective.
Especially if when they are big fans of people like
Yeah.
who is super famous.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
as now it's obvious that Irabor has not. No, Oris has not seen Fast X. Irabor, have you seen Fast X?
No, I've not seen Fast X. No.
All right then.
No.
So there was one that recently was released to a streaming platform here in Nigeria. It's Oluwaseun. Has any one of you seen it?
I saw it in the cinemas when it showed
Last
up
year.
last year. Yes.
Is it good?
The review.
Man,
As
Oris,
objective
are you
as
constipated?
possible.
No,
What
this
is
is
happening?
let me explain. Let me explain why I feel frustrated by that particular film. Now, the director, Dario Lighton, is one of my favorites in New Nollywood. He's a young director. I really like him. And his first film was a film called was titled rather Ojukokoro. I thought it was really, really brilliant. And since then he's done a few others. I mean, either good or worse than the previous one. But I don't think he's actually met the standard he set with the first film he did. Now, Elio for the first, I don't know, to the fourth of the film, it's pretty impressive. It's this slow burning horror thriller kind of story. And then it just collapses in the last 10 or 15 minutes. And to be fair, I mean, because I have also met the director, he explained to me what had happened. But beyond that, what really is important is what I see on the screen, and I wasn't impressed with by the way it ended. But otherwise, it was decent. So yeah, it's one of those frustrating films where you're like happy, and then you're like, okay, what's just happened? So yeah, I hope anybody who's seen it will send in a comment. And if you haven't seen it, you probably should see it and let me know what you think.
Okay.
But yeah,
I'd love to see it based on what you said.
Yeah, please. Oh, Irabor, of course, you definitely have to see it anyway, because it's
Mhm.
part of your job. Because I think Dario Lighton is an important filmmaker for New Nollywood, actually.
Aside
Yeah,
that,
there's another. Go ahead.
what would you say that could be better?
So I think what could be better, I mean, I can speak in two ways. As somebody who has spoken to the director about what went wrong, and somebody who just saw the film. What could be better is like taking a little bit more time to explain certain phenomena at the end of the film. But it feels like what could have been on for 30 minutes was pretty much scrambled into the last 10 minutes. Really, really bad. So, but on the level of somebody spoken to the director, you said?
What about casting and all of that?
No, pretty decent actually. They have Bisola playing like an old Babala or some sorts. Really, really impressive. I liked the fact that, Bisola, I think she's, I don't want to use underrated because that word is overused, But frankly, I think she's incredibly, incredibly versatile. And I don't hear enough about her versatility.
Oh,
that
yes. I like it.
Sweet-faced, whatever. She can play incredibly comic as well, and anything in between. So this one has her with the makeup playing somebody who is really old, really almost malevolent, actually, like maybe sort of like an evil kind of character. But she is incredibly, incredibly convincing playing that. So yeah, the casting is actually quite decent. The only problem with the film, like I said, is how the trajectory of the film at the end just collapses. But otherwise, pretty decent writing too. And that's one of the good things I think about Dari. Dari writes his scripts, and I think he's a brilliant writer who probably needs more money and more time. I think that's about it. Yeah.
All right. So because I don't want to be unfair, I'll take some of the comments that we've had about movies that made a childhood. I just want to take some of them and then we'll go back to discussing what we have for today. That will be AMVCA award reviews, the fails and the highs of it. But on YouTube, we have Anne Therese Opara saying the Flintstone Beauty and the Beast Star Wars. There's also Toy Story, Lion King, Pretty Woman, Titanic. The Mother is not bad, but like everyone else, it has taken a while to finish watching the movie.
Yeah, and it's action. If it's a drama, I can understand. Action, you're taking too long to finish an action movie. It's like, this is not really good, to be honest.
Okay, going forward, there's still from Anne Therese Opera who says X-Men, Dexter's Laboratory, Animaniacs, there is Rugrats, there is Pinky and the Brain, SpongeBob SquarePants.
Animaniacs.
Okay, they are making you. Don't worry, just signal to us if everything is against your will, we will understand. Then Benito who says on WhatsApp that Doctor Who,
Mm.
Star Wars Space 1999, Robin Hood, Godfather 1 and 2. Okay, then I will quickly take this one on Instagram from Mies underscore Anne says Star Wars, Toy Story, Romeo and Juliet, Lion King, The Flintstone. Adeshola underscore JP says Super Force and Sledgehammer. And then Miss Anne further says Pretty Woman, Beauty and the Beast. Interesting childhood you all have.
Oh, it's funny. She said Romeo, and I wonder which Romeo and Juliet she's talking about. If it's, I mean, there are like 3,000 versions of that thing. I wonder which one. If it's one with Leo, actually, or and Claire Danes. Anyway,
Okay,
back
now
to the
going
present.
back to it, the things that we are talking about, still in the mood of reviews. Let's talk about the African Magic Movie Choice Awards.
Movie, no.
Viewers' Choice
Viewers' Choice
Awards,
Awards,
rather.
yeah.
Yeah. So what were you? You were there.
Yeah,
Right.
I was there. Maybe too
Tell
early
us
actually.
about it.
And the entire 4 hours I was right there. As always, interesting show. I think they have such explained probably the best in quote production design for awards in Nigeria. I think they probably have that actually. It's really, really beautiful in the hall. But as with everything, I always say this: whenever you're watching anything on TV and it's a live show, they are doing it for you. It's not for people in the audience. Even if you're in the audience, you are not quite the person who they are targeting. So, for instance, you see all kinds of people moving around. You never see that on TV.
No, you don't.
You know, but people are just disturbing. All kinds of people are making noise. You know, these people are stars. You know, so they can do whatever they like. So there's a lot of noise.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Does that mean this award shows are better enjoyed on TV? With what you have said.
For different reasons, yes and no. Yes, because of course, like I said, everything is targeted towards you. Every single thing they are doing is for you, you know. But there's nothing that replaces the atmosphere just being with these people who have made the air of movies or made the air on the screen. So there's also that value that okay, you are there and right beside you. For instance, I was sitting right on a line that had Kunle Afolayo, that had Messi AK, that had, I mean, a bunch of people. But Shaggy was somewhere just around me. Who else? Ramsey Noah was like 2 seats away. Anyway, there's all of those things that happen when you are in the room. But in terms of like the comfort, there's nothing that beats sitting in your house and watching that, watching that show anyway. So, but in terms of the awards itself, of course, which is always where there's always a controversy with AMVCA, is because it's a Viewers' Choice Awards. People who care about the arts, about the technicalities, sometimes don't get what they want. Like me, I didn't expect any of the acting categories to go to anybody in one. Specifically, yes, the one I was really, really, really depressed about, not depressed is a little bit too harsh,
yeah.
Just not quite happy with, was the acting categories, especially the male one. I think last year I had 2 powerhouse performances and none of them won an award. Chidi Mokeme in Shantytown and Blossom Chukwujeku in Betrayed. Splendid performances. I mean, maybe even for like the past 10 years, I'm not sure anybody has been that good for male performances. And suddenly you have, what's his name? Toby Bakri win the award, who was good, you know, but he's just, these people are great. He was good. And you know, but of course, as you can imagine, because it was by voters and Blossom doesn't even post online, to be honest. And Chidi pretty much just showed up online around the time of Shantytown. Toby has been popular since he was on, what's it called? Big Brother. So it means that, of course, he had a lot more fans. And so when it comes to voting, he was always going to win. But to be honest, I forgot that it was a voting category. So when it happened there, I asked one of my friends who works in this industry, like, wait, remind me again. How does this thing work? And then she responded and said, you know what, it's voting. I'm like, ah, man. No wonder. So yeah, but and then of course Osas won the female award as well, which was unfortunate because even in the film she was in.
Fortunate or
no, unfortunate.
Why?
You know, because even in the film she was in, she wasn't the best actress. Then talk more about like the entire industry. But yeah, I don't know. This is the problem with the EMBC is that every year something like this is going to happen. Except the years, of course, where the most popular person is also the person who wins or who puts in the best performances. Well, whenever there's a difference between popularity and quality, you must have a problem with the EMBCs every single year. It's not going to change. Next year, I'm going to be complaining again. So anyway, yeah, so I think that's for me was the real big issue with it. But overall, I think the very last award, or one of the last ones, which was the one they gave to the Industry Merit Award, that's what it's called, and they gave it to Patience Ozoko.
Yeah.
I think that was just fantastic. In fact, she got the only standing ovation on the night. So I was like, you know, this is really, really good. Oh, at the Cannes.
Yeah.
At the Cannes, right, exactly.
The man's here though.
Yeah, so yeah, that was super. She was saying that she wasn't even somebody had asked her to come or something, and she had no idea that they were going to honor her like that. So it was a really, really great thing to just see. Exactly. And then there was, of course, there was the mistake by Ike Osakudiwa and Ikemowo. Let me just explain what happened. So apparently, Ike was supposed to introduce, this is just like a organization issue. I think I was supposed to introduce Ikemowo to present an award. Unfortunately, Inkem wasn't around.
Okay.
So somebody else had to come there. And when it was that somebody's turn to do it, he now came on show. So it was just like, okay, you say it's Inkem, he doesn't show up, and then he shows up anyway. And of course, when they mentioned his name, I think he got the biggest cheer of the night. In fact, in terms of cheers, I think Inkem first, then of course Bimbo Ademoye. So I was thinking to myself, maybe at the moment, in terms of the newer actors, Bimbo Ademoye might be the best loved actress currently working in Hollywood. So anyway, yeah, I think yes. I think people really like her. People really like her.
Do you share the same sentiment with Oris, Irabor?
Oh yes, I've always been a fan of Bimbo. Bimbo is an all-round talent, generational talent, and she hasn't even scratched the surface. So she's definitely loved with what she's even doing on YouTube, with the therapy session series. Yeah, and Bimbo is a great actress in terms of delivery, in terms of research, how much she invests in herself, and puts in the character. So for sure, she deserved the comedy win. I think if any other person was to even win Best Actress in a Drama, if they gave it to Bimbo, I wouldn't be angry just because I know Bimbo, is that great. So
did you see her in Anikula? Did you think that was deserving over Osasi's win?
Okay, so let me answer this question like this. I can't say no, I can't say yes. So regarding Osasi's performance in Man of God, if we're being honest, Osas delivered. I cannot say she didn't.
Oh, over DSF in the same film, Dr. Shola Fabson. I think DSF.
No. DSF. No, I'm not saying. So that's the thing. I'm not saying she delivered more than someone else. I'm just saying in terms of her role, she delivered. Yes. DSF for sure. I'm shocked that DSF wasn't even nominated. She delivered. Now, my point is, if you look at the individual performances, it's a case of, this person did well, this person did okay. I was even rooting for Scarlett Gomez for Wura.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it was a category of, okay, well, anybody could take it. People have their different, fans or opinions or decisions and all that. So it wasn't a bad win for Osas to have won it. I just need to put it out there. So because people are just making it seem as if, Inse did incredibly well that, Osas couldn't win it. I'm not really a fan of Inse. I mean, her acting.
What do you mean? You're not a fan.
Thank you for saying that, by the way, Irabor. I'm proud of you.
Inse's acting, in my own opinion, I don't see why people are wowed by it. It's. I think she feels people have given her that gas enough to be exceptional. Then she just goes and just does mediocre work. It's just like
she has almost been typecast. It's the same role she plays almost every time. By the way,
there's this person, Ireti Doyle. In my own opinion, Ireti Doyle is not even putting her all whenever she has her roles.
Ireti Doyle is also not very good, to be honest. But she has age. She has age and respect on her side.
Tina Mba knocks them out of the park.
Totally your sentiment.
Yes, but they are founded on years and years of watching these people. It's not. We didn't just watch watching these people like last year.
It's not me. Anybody I'm going to say isn't this or is this. I'm not coming at it from emotion, and I'm coming at it from, as Ori said, I have watched and I have said.
You think about this thing all the time. Yeah.
And it's my opinion, and I'm not going to be bashful. So that's my own take. You get so.
Well, thank you. Before this gets further heated up, both of you again. I know I have said it that I'll try to separate both of you because it's like you ignite a fire here, but fortunately, it's like two necessary evils. Then going on to something that is not about movie awards, let's talk about judging the trailers or judging the movies by their trailer. Okay, now. Okay, let me take these messages. I will. Boo Baby on WhatsApp says, finally somebody says the truth about Ireti Doyle. Well, what is the truth?
What you said.
Then Ola on WhatsApp says, hi, Shane, Oris and Irabor. Please, I'm begging no one should see but X. I'm still trying to get a refund with interest for wasting my time and money. You all are mean.
Irabor, Oris, we have uncovered the truth about this.
People don't want to say when it comes to
everybody wants to say them, but it has to be said.
Sometimes she shouts, she doesn't act. Sometimes.
Well, Cruz says, Oluwaseun, you chose Irabor Fire and Oris Accelerant, and you don't want Arson. That is the problem. I'm trying to, one person per now. I'm going to make it one person per show. One person per show, because one of these days,
Cruz, please don't ruin our moment. Please.
I'm going to be incinerated. Just I'll be in the middle. No, Cruz, you don't want both of them. I don't want both of them. Trust me. So now moving quickly because it's 44 minutes past 11 o'clock. There are some trailers of some movies that have been released. Let's see if we can build our expectations or advise ourselves otherwise. Has anybody seen the trailer of The Color Purple?
Yes, I have.
Remake.
Yeah, but he's not the one doing it. It's Blitz Bazwale, the Ghanaian UK or whatever.
Now it's been produced. Steven Spielberg.
I saw his name.
And the third now, I will try and Quincy Jones.
Oh, Quincy.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest, I don't think what he's going to do, that's Blitz. I mean, I like him, but I don't think he's going to touch the original. The original actually had, I think if I remember clearly, 10 Oscar nominations. They didn't win one, which was really
14,
sad.
which actually 14? It holds the history for having the most nominations.
Without a win. Without a win. Okay, 14. Wow, 14. Yeah. Ouch. Anyway, but yeah, it's a really remarkable film. So I don't expect this one, but it's a different take. So maybe, just maybe, it will be okay. But to be fair, I'm not bad looking forward to it. Not at all.
Oh, sorry, I forgot that 14. That was 11 actually.
Oh, it's 11. Okay.
Okay, so Irabor, what's your take on that? Are you looking forward to The Color Purple? It features Fantasia this time.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it. It's a classic, and anybody who wants to make a classic, you have to come correct. So I always just leave it open until I see it, then I'll judge. If it's bad, if it's bad, I'll criticize it. If it's good, I'll exalt it.
Well, we are going to have to wait a long time for this because it will be released to the cinemas on the 25th of December, which is Christmas Day. But in case you have no idea whatsoever.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Such a sad movie in 25th of December. Oh, wait, this is a music. I think it's kind of a musical also.
It is. That's why you have Fantasia. They're doing the really great vocals that she does. And okay, just a bit of information about The Color Purple. So originally it was in 1985, an American epic coming-of-age period drama that was done by Steven Spielberg. And of course, we said it was so phenomenal. It got about 11 Academy Award nominations.
Let's not forget, it's based on a classic book called The Color Purple by Alice Walker.
Yeah, of course, that is important information. So it was based on that book. And you had Oprah Winfrey in there. You had Whoopi Goldberg. That was actually the breakthrough role for Whoopi Goldberg.
I like how you say breakthrough. Yeah. Like she ever became a big actress.
Go away.
No, she didn't.
Go away.
Just say.
We're about to end the show. Please move away from me before I commit a crime. You know what I'm on. All right, so another one that will be out is the Flash movie. Have you seen the trailer?
I have.
What do you think?
I'm just happy that there's the old Batman. There's Michael Keaton in that one. I hope it's going to be like what's it going to be called? It's going to be like the fan service of the Spider-Man movie that had like the old Spider-Man being it. So same thing here. I think it's also Ben Affleck in this one as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm not going to say no Oscars or anything, no MVCA for them, but it should be a pleasant way to pass the time.
Okay, it should be MVCA.
Yes, yes. No MVCA for them either.
Irabor, save me from this man. Hopefully you do. Are you there? It's gone back.
I can hear you. I said, I'm laughing out loud. I said, I can't save you from the man. No. Even me, I'm trying to run like Flash.
Nice
indeed. That's a nice one. No, see, all these trailers, sometimes they're always misleading. You know, you can see certain clips and expect certain things. Sometimes they don't even make it to the film. So my own is...
No, but you know that this time they're going to make it now. They're going to bring Batman into it, please. Don't be like, don't spoil it for us. Don't spoil it for us.
No, I'm trying to be, objective in a way. But at the end of the day, I don't use trailers to judge again. I think I stopped doing that in 2017, I guess, because they're so misleading. You expect something, then you watch a film and you're like, what's going on? So, and the Flash, the DC franchise, I'm not really a fan of it. So.
Yeah, they haven't really done great stuff. Well, I think maybe the Nolan Batman movie is probably the last time they did something that was really great, I think.
DC or Marvel?
DC.
DC or Marvel? Marvel, for sure.
Okay, all right then. And the last one I definitely might get what?
What?
Or is pick DC over Marvel?
No. I'm saying that this hasn't done good stuff up until. Oh, you're asking. Of course, Marvel. No, I don't think anybody has used that one. Oh, no, please.
No.
That was why I gave the long okay, so that we finally know.
No, but wait. Let me say this. I think that the Batman movie, Christopher Nolan, the very first two, the Begins and Rises. I think Begins and Rises. Yes, those two, or the Dark Knight. Sorry, the Dark Knight and Rises. I think are very.
Yeah.
They're better than the Marvel movies. I think those two.
Which
but on the whole,
which Marvel movies?
All of them.
No.
All of them.
No.
Oh, okay. Anyway, we can use this off air.
We have to go quickly. The last one is not American, Nigerian, Cameroon. That is Half Heaven. Has anybody seen?
I haven't even seen the trailer of that one.
Really? You need to see it.
The one with the
Who is directing?
Chidi Mokeme is
there. Chidi is back. Okay,
yes.
I have to feel of that.
Steadily doing it.
Please, who's directing?
Was it Lukman Alia people?
No, it can't be.
No?
If it's Lukman, of course I must say it.
I actually think, I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure of that, but I think I saw the name there. So
yeah, Lukman actually was the big winner of the MVC in terms of like individual. I think he got 2 or 3 awards actually.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for sticking with us, riding with us. And the last one, as touching movie news, is that John Wick the franchise has crossed $1 billion at global box office.
Nice. Wow. For something started like a B movie with the first part.
And you know exactly what you said, because every sequel, it's like breaking history in Hollywood, because every sequel is better than the other one. Yeah, for John Wick. So, and it rakes in more. I think John Wick Chapter 4, about $426 million, thereabout, combined.
They've crossed $1 billion. Wow, yeah. That's a big deal, man. I understand, because it was directed by a guy who was like a stuntman. It's such I'm serious. It's such an incredibly unusual story. A stuntman directs a movie with like an aging star, and it cost $1 billion. Wow. Yes, that is what Keanu Reeves.
Is it 29?
Compare him to what he was in '99 with The Matrix.
Who is not aging?
The guy is almost 60, please, man. He's an aging star. The
question is, who is not aging?
We all aging, but we know that Keanu is not like his spring chicken. Let's face it.
So finally, your recommendations for the weekend, movie series.
Irabor, go first, because I can't really think.
I'm giving you guys be able to think with everything that has come out of you.
I've given you guys 2, Covenant and A Man Called Otto. Those are the 2 that I've seen that I'll recommend wholeheartedly. I give it a 9 all through both films.
Yeah, something as well.
Yeah, it's the cable noise coming from Irabor. That's what happens when you operate from the dark. We'll probably
maybe mute him.
Yes. So now that you've given your recommendations, we can stay muted. Hold your peace. Forever. Yes.
You'll be back next week.
Go.
What do I suggest? So I can't think of any. Oh yes. Yeah, like I said earlier, see Iliowo, the Dayo film. Only because I think that you should see this one so that you know when he's doing the next one, and it's probably going to be better.
They didn't get the pronunciation of what you said, but I will help you.
Of course. Yoruba girl wants to now tell. No vex. House of Money. Yes, that's the literal.
Irabor, go away. Stay muted. You're disturbing the peace and tranquility here.
Anyway, yeah. So see Iliowo. It's on Netflix at the moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for all your comments, participation. We do cherish it, and we will hope that you have a great weekend. See one of these, or at least one of these movies and series, and come back with your reviews next week, and we will have a great time as always. My name is Oluwaseun, and he is
Oris,
who you can catch
on Instagram at Catchoris Gram, and on Twitter at Catchoris.
And the one who has been a buzz in your ears has been Irabor Okosun.
Is this still here?
Thank you very much. A pleasure.
Well, you can see him on Instagram, so just go search for him.
Irabor 100, that's how I keep it.
Irabor 100.
Thank you. At 11:55, you'll listen to the news, and then afterwards, you will listen to lovely soul music on Strictly Soul. You can find this recording on YouTube, by the way, with all the facial expressions that I had for the men and the behind-the-scenes comments. YouTube.com/smooth91 FM Lagos. Next week, we will be back, but before then, enjoy something from Ariel.
What happened to my sound? I couldn't get.
No. I'm like, this is
cable interference.
yeah, it's maybe your phone. I don't know.
There's no cable, oh, nothing.
Maybe he's looking.
You have heard what's her name? You retain your last door too much.
Hey, Riti and what's her name again? Shola Shobowale.
Sorry for the way you just called on this.
Well, not true now. Somebody needs to say it now. Ireti has received too much kudos just because she speaks English a certain way. I beg. Is that acting?
What does that mean?
It's not acting now. It's not acting.
I am going to end the stream now. I love my job and I do not share the sentiment with all of you.
Bye.
Peace and
Love.
It's not ending.
You just